WWE has declared war on content creators. And the reason why? Well, that's the worst part. Now, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, so many content creators have had their pages taken down in the past 24, 48 hours, and there have been so many copyright strikes to everybody, especially reaction content, since WrestleMania. And everyone's asking what changed, because WWE were actively encouraging watch-along content and stuff like that, sharing clips from people on their own shows. And reaction content has brought so many new eyes to WWE on social media over the last couple of years. It has genuinely been free advertising for the WWE. Now, I did suspect this day could come. I thought it was possible. But I thought it would be with a new TV deal, with a network being harsher or something like that. But that isn't what's happened here. Because it's not the start of a new TV deal, and USA and Netflix have been encouraging content creators. So this really doesn't make any sense, especially since WrestleMania 42. The only thing that's actually changed is the criticism towards the product. Reaction content creators and content creators in general have been way harsher to WWE, and to be honest, rightfully so, over the past 6 months, but especially the last few months. And I do think this is the reason why, especially after that town hall meeting, and since then, that's when all the copyright strikes have happened.
So, Friday Night SmackDown last week went off the air, and like I said in my opening, there were content creators that were posting all night. They basically, the way reactionary content creators do, they go live, they react. You're not seeing during the live stream what they're watching, but what they do is take their reaction and they clip it on a TikTok or YouTube reel, and they basically add the video of the show later. Because most rules when it comes to YouTube, you're allowed to use copyright material up to 30 or so seconds. But some people, even though you can do it up to 30 seconds, that doesn't mean the originator is still okay with it. They can still clap you, which is what happened. So you spend all this time preparing all your reaction, preparing the breakdowns, the kind of stuff WWE has literally aired on their television shows. And then you hit upload. And within minutes, maybe a little past that, 90% of your clips are gone on your channel as of last Friday. Not because you said something mean or something not kosher, or not because you broke the rule of their standard rules. It's because a bot website paid by WWE decided you were the enemy. Or at least now you are. Before you were buddies. But let me ask you something. Does this make sense? Yeah, it does. Because they own the content. But some people don't believe that. Here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. WWE wants the lighter fluid now, because originally the content creators had it. But now they just don't want the fans to hold it, or even the match to help spread the massive media fire that they can when they used to do these reaction streams. So let's get into this. Welcome to the Tea Drop, Strong Brew, No Soft Behavior. Today we're talking about the WWE versus content creators drama or dilemma, the stream enforcement crackdown that started last Friday, and what every single one of you watching this pretty much needs to know what's going on. We're going to walk through the verified information that we have so far, the receipts from some content creators themselves, the Netflix theory around it that nobody's talking about, and what it means for the wrestling content economy as a whole going forward. So let's get into the drop. So let's start from the ground up. Here's what we actually know, and I'm gonna try my best to not have presumptions and what we know factually to the best of my ability, because a lot of misinformation has been going wild on the internet this whole freaking week that I didn't even want to do a freaking short about it because I didn't know what was real or not. But here are some of the facts that I need you guys to understand. Last Friday, which was May 1st, immediately after SmackDown went off the air, multiple wrestling content creators started getting hit with copyright strikes across YouTube, Twitch, X, and Instagram. We're talking minutes, not hours. It took them minutes to get it down. You posted it up, maybe within 5 minutes, your thing was gone. Maybe your channel was banned if you were the very first one to post that. Now, the timing was confirmed by John Powell at Slam Wrestling on May 9th, which was pretty much yesterday, and it corroborated with other media facts. So that's one fact. Two, the strikes are coming directly from WWE corporate. They're coming from a third-party agency called Stream Enforcement. a digital anti-piracy firm that works on behalf of media owners and streaming platforms to detect and remove unauthorized content to their belief. They have all this information. I can post this link on the video so you guys can take a look, but they pretty much have their professional service, comprehensive content protection solutions. They do live and premiere airing enforcement, robust and unparalleled enforcement strategies to protect your critical broadcasts. Let's see what they mean by that. Protecting distribution of your live event and premiering airing from content pirate demands. Dedicated and aggressive enforcement. From our background protecting high-profile live and pay-per-view events, as well as premiered airing taped content, Stream Enforcement maintains a robust enforcement strategy against casual and for-profit pirates during and after a broadcast window. So basically, content creators are pirates now. Ahoy! 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 We're pirates now. I'm probably Jack Sparrow at this point because I'm the only one that didn't get hit the way these guys did. But then again, I don't do reaction videos. Guys, I freaking hate reaction videos. Doing like live reaction videos because I just look at this face. Like no, I'm being serious. Like you guys don't believe. Like look at this face.
Oh man, you look terrible. Did you guys do this?
This is the face that has barely any emotions. Like look at my eyes. If you are able to make me crack, you are gifted. Like it's hard. So me doing a reaction video, you guys are gonna be bored. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like it's hard for me to react sometimes. Like it takes a while. So I've done it before. Years ago, I did a reaction video to WrestleMania 40 press conference, the famous one with Rock, Cody, and Roman Reigns, where The Rock slaps Cody right across the face. That one. My video did good. I'm surprised it's still up. It's probably going to be taken down soon. But I did, that it's hard to react. My face is not good for it. So that's why I don't do it. I can do other small things like reacting to interviews and stuff like that, but it's not something I want to do consistent. They do target investigation, identify bad actors, and target behind prominent pirate sites. So besides content creators, I think they're also looking into people who are taking a PLE or a show, downloading it somehow or extracting it and putting it like on pirate channels, places you can download it for yourself. So then there's been also websites that people just put a link on their website and you can watch a live stream of them watching the live stream or the PLE. So they're probably going after those people too. And everything else below this is more like fingerprint, like super investigators. So these are people you don't want to F with, basically. Now they have their stuff, when they check content, there's more bot-driven detection, but they are probably backed up with some human. I mean, this is like, we just got information on this, so we'll probably get more as the weeks pass through. So they don't have someone at this point all time on TKO's tower or WWE headquarters handpicking who gets hit. They are all botted, and until someone, I guess, goes, they dispute it, that's when a human comes in. The fourth fact, the one that stopped me a little bit cold when I thought I read up on it. One creator received a temporary suspension for using audio only, not just video. For the most part, we're used to, if you do a video, it's higher chance for you to get a copyright strike, but now they are going for the audio. So if you do an audio, if you react to an audio and maybe you put another image, it might become a problem going forward. So they received a temporary suspension for using audio only. Just the sound for the segment, that's it. That's where this stops being protect your IP and starts being something else entirely. And it gets even more interesting. Let me ask you something. When you hear WWE is striking creators, what is the picture in your head? Probably some lawyer in a suit deciding which clip is too negative. And what do I mean by that? People are complaining that they're getting clipped down because they might be too critical or something like that. But that might not be the case. Audio only should be cool. Well, not to WWE. They're getting clipped by audio too. Maybe on YouTube, it's a little different, but on Instagram, people are getting clipped for that. Because one content creator, they don't do videos, they just do audio, and they got suspended. So depends on the platform. And it's going to be something we check as time passes through. Now, Stream Enforcement is, like I said, a content protection firm. Their entire business model is selling automated takedown services to broadcasters and streamers. So probably WB, big movie companies, big channels are probably using this too going forward. And it's very easy, just AI at this point protecting them. The bots find the clips, the bots fire the strike. There's no human in the room asking, what does this fall under fair use commentary? And it's not. They're not going to ask. They're just going to ban or copyright, and you guys got to fight for it. There's no in between. They're just going at it. And that's why this week was so harsh for many creators. The bots don't care. They're just there to find and send the strike. That's the transaction for them. That's it. So when people say WWE is doing this, two things can happen at the same time. We hired the agency is the one pulling the trigger, but both statements when it comes to like having a human can be true too, because someone is checking these. Now, there was a content creator called Espresso who got hit, but his channel got taken down on Reddit. Like, he had a big PSA on Reddit and someone banned his statement on Reddit. Like, Reddit is just garbage at this point. I found out this week. I couldn't even find his Reddit. I don't know why all these things are showing up. What is this? Anyway, yeah, this is Espresso. So he was the one that got hit for the biggest. He's the first one that got hit on last Friday. And he had a handle same on Instagram and X, but he was the first one hit. He posted a full breakdown of what happened to the wrestling press boy. We'll talk about that later. He gave a full breakdown on what happened and the way it went. He said as such, here it is. I was hit initially last Friday after posting some reaction for SmackDown. They came in pretty much immediately after the show was done. About 90% of my clips were removed, leaving just a few from the beginning of the show. The report on the strikes allowed me to trace the reporter to a company named Stream Enforcement. This is somewhat interesting as it isn't WWE themselves imposing the strikes. They're paying an agency to go after the content. There was some belief that they were going after content creators who were more negative about the shows, but that doesn't seem to be the case, as I've seen almost everyone get something pulled. Because he got pulled, whatchamacallit, Wheezy Blanc, Santi Zip didn't get really hit, but he reached out to the agency hoping to get some guidance around what it isn't permitted at Backlash this weekend, but haven't heard back yet. He got hit since last Friday. He tried to see if there was going to be any hits for Backlash, and I guess that's why they're okay with it right now. Now, here's the part that some of the press have been burying. Express, like I said, reached out to them directly, and he tried to get clarification on Backlash. He hasn't heard anything from them at all. We're getting the mask? Yep. All right. I have it right here, so we'll do it after. He was trying to get clarification what he can and cannot do, but he still didn't do it, and some people risk it because, look, I can show you right now. No, not that one. Right here. Wheezy Blonde, she reacted to Backlash and SmackDown. SmackDown's down here. But all these were from this week. And then Sandy Zip himself, he also reacted. Actually, he didn't. He's actually playing it smart. So Sandy Zip told all of them not to do it anymore. Like, this is the guy who's been doing this since day one. He knows his shit. He stopped doing it. Like, all his posts are down. But some people keep going. And I don't get why we're doing it. But anyway, no reaction. So right now, as we speak, at least for the reactionary people, they are operating in the dark. There's no rule book. We used to think you can do 10 seconds, 15 seconds or something like that. But now everyone's going to get clapped no matter what. And some may just get clapped and their video goes down, but some may get kicked out and that's it, no appeals. When it comes to this though, Espresso confirmed that one of the creators he's friends with, he didn't want to name them publicly to protect them. He caught a temporary suspension for playing the audio clip. So there's that. And he said he wasn't able to get his channel back or something like that. So what happens if you can't even reference the audio of a show you're commenting on anymore? You can't really podcast the way you were originally doing about wrestling. You can't do play-by-play with audio anymore. You can't even do the kind of, I was listening on my drive home kind of review content that's been part of the wrestling fandom since even the territory days for some. Now we have a full-on piracy enforcement, and we're going to have to start thinking of different ways to do commentary about wrestling. To some, this is going to become now more commentary suppression, dress up in copyright clothing. And what I mean about that, like, some people still believe that they're trying to silence people who react negatively about the show. which I think is hilarious because most of the people that react negatively about the show don't do content reaction videos. They don't at all. Like, I can show you, like, for example, two people that are very on the fence when it comes to content reaction. This guy, JD from New York, he does videos, but he doesn't ever use any video content from the show. He basically is a talking head. He's a talking head. Salamonster as well. They just talk about the content. They don't use any videos. Maybe they'll use still images here and there, but they'll never use videos unless they know they're able to, because they're very cautious about their channels, and they're not going to do it. So these two right here talk very heavily about what works and what doesn't work about the show. So it's hilarious. So we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the press reactions about this. One of them, multiple wrestling creators have posted side-by-side comparison on Instagram and X this week showing WWE's own promo package of some kind. This is part of the negative reaction some people had that they think WWE is taking them down on. So let's see, Sol Ruka Raw. So there was a video about Sol Ruka who did a mess up on her video on Raw, like right here. This comparison. I'm surprised some people have it, but I'm not gonna even play it because I don't want to get hit. I already got hit last week about my live stream and I had to cut out my thing. But there was a segment on live that Sol Ruka messed up. She did a botch right when she does her move, like she trips on the rope, like right there. She tripped right there. And you see right there, this is the edited version of WWE did after Raw stopped being live. When the replay version of Raw on Netflix, they edited the video in a way that doesn't show the mess up. And someone called it out online, and I'm surprised this video is still up, but other people got theirs clapped. They're trying to silence some of the mistakes that's been happening on these shows. Another thing that's been happening, wrestling press is calling it what it is. Slam Wrestling labeled all these things as an unprecedented, this whole clapping thing as an unprecedented action, especially the audio only suspension, because it's breaking a broader scope in terms of how people can react going forward. Now it's becoming more than fan rumors. It's becoming wrestling journalists talking about it all over the internet. And the last thing I want to point out is a creator called Grant posted, I don't even know if he's here. He might be on X. Grant posted publicly that they are pivoting their content focus. Which this means is that he will be doing most of his posts towards AEW content now, or maybe in TNA if he wants to go there. So he's going to stop actually doing WWE content because Tony Khan has said he likes people reacting to his content, so it might be a little more friendlier for him. I'm going to tell you right now that is not true, because I've done clips for AEW and I've gotten hit and I had to edit my video, and the same thing for TNA. So unless you get permission, it's really, you can't just do it out of willy-nilly. So that's going to become an opposite circumstance of all these clapping. Everyone's going to start going to other promotions and react instead. Now, because I already talked about all the content creators, they all publicly spoke about this. Wheezy Blonde being one of the biggest ones. She talked about the whole clapping, and I think so did Sandy Zap. Where is it? He was talking about WWE using AI, but like this is a reaction video of his anyway. So here we go. Let's see Nope, that's Xavier Woods. Where there was one right here. Great Roman Reigns. Nope. This is the problem. They do so much content. Here we go. I think this is it.
They're taking them all out back and they're putting the slug in. Ones are taking out Wheezy. They're taking them all out back and they're putting the slug in.
So she's just reacting people saying that she got kicked out. She really didn't get kicked out, just her content got limited. And she wrote, "I'm sorry to everyone who lost their accounts. The first few times this happened to me was really hard, and why I started researching best practices, but copyright is inevitable. It's tricky. You can still stream. You can still create. If you need help navigating that or want guidance moving forward, my email is open." That's nice. So Plexus, my friend, is an example that we don't all have the same perspective or outlook, and that's okay. And she still reacted, like all these are Friday reactions. But yeah, here's another one. So this was her explaining her copyright in 2003.
Go again. I'm eating Doritos. So this is actually, I can't see. Hang on. show you the screenshot this way. This is 2023. The screenshot from 2023. It was the first major copyright fiasco that we had in reaction content. Hi, this is after the fact. I'm interjecting because I also wanted to point out that this strike particularly happened the week before CM Punk's return. And that was...
So that was Survivor Series, November 2023.
The end of November in 2023. And literally the next week, they used our reaction clips on WWE television for the first time. So I was actively going through all this copyright strike stuff, and we got featured on WWE. Well, take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Anyway, back to the original video. At that time, a friend, mentor, food, short man, Santi Zap.
And here's what Santi Zap... Go ahead.
All of us at the time for content, and we did.
So yeah, Santi has cautioned them that it is a limited time frame for all this content reaction because eventually these companies will want them to stop. And it seems like it's happening now.
Well, the expansion really happened. So I have Santi to thank for all of that. Unfortunately, I crashed and burned and had all this shit happen to me. And, you know, we're trying to pick up the pieces now and do better. But I don't have a lot to say about the copyright stuff. I just think that there's so many of us.
Look at us. Okay.
There's a lot more reaction streamers now. There's a lot more people doing reaction content now. The reality is, what we've always known and you should be aware of is that it is copyrighted content. It really, with the automatic filters that happen, it can't just fall under fair use. You will lose your appeal. And you're not going to go up toe-to-toe with $1 million. I don't think that this is a personalized TKO attack. I think it's an easy thing to fall into because of the negativity surrounding the opinions of the company and everything that are happening right now. And it sucks every which way till Sunday. It sucks. It's exposure. It's how people interact. My advice would be, if you already have an established audience, you can still do your reactions, but you can't put the clip to it. If you want to roll the dice and risk it, if you don't care too much about losing your account, or you just want to make multiple ones, like, that's cool. You can do that too. But it happens like one time a year. Like there's one big one a year.
It's weird though. She says that, and I would think she would be the one to stop also, but she started keep going. Like, yep, she's doing a video. It's not a still image.
Down.
Yep, I'm not even gonna play further into this. So one thing she did point it out, and it is an interesting story because most of them after this incident, multiple creators have stated publicly on Instagram and X that WWE used their reaction footage on WWE produced video packages, promo packages that aired on Raw, SmackDown, and then weeks or months later struck these same creators. One creator put it like this on Instagram, and I quote, oh, here it is. This strike happened the week before CM Punk's return, which is her talking about it. Literally, the next week, they used our reaction clips on WWE television, and they used it on promo packages when they were hyping up the return of CM Punk on regular TV. So yeah, you react to their content. They have every right to use it. I mean, they also used Subway Mania on the WrestleMania package for last year. I don't think Subway Mania is going to say, oh, take down my clip because they're using wrestling characters for their YouTube page, and WWE doesn't care, but they're going to say, well, then I can use your stuff. Anyway, WWE has the legal right to enforce their copyright, and when you publicly use a creator's work to build hype for your own product, the optics of striking that same creator, to use the technical term that they said, is jackassery. Now, definitely check out Wheezy Blonde. Wheezy Blonde, it's Wheezy Blonde is her Instagram, and then also you can check out Mr. Santi Zap as Santi Zap. Awesome content creators, but hopefully they don't keep getting clipped like that. Clapped, not clipped, clapped. Now, I want to talk about a theory I have when it comes to Netflix and NBC. I want to do something that I rarely do sometimes and give WWE, or more accurately, TKO, the benefit of the doubt for a minute. Because there are some theories floating around from accounts like, there's some accounts that are floating around, and then the F4W online boards also are talking about it. And the theory is, WWE didn't decide on its own to nuke the creator economy. The pressure is coming from other rights holders. What do I mean by that? Netflix, who paid $5 billion for Raw, the Raw deal that started in 2025. Then there's For some, the NBC Universal, because that's where SmackDown is on USA Network, and some of the premium live events on Netflix and ESPN. So they have a lot of big people working with them, and the fact that content creators are clipping from stuff from their channels or their websites, they might be the ones putting pressure on WWE and TKO. All these channels and organizations spend billions with a B. And when you pay billions for streaming exclusivity, you do not love seeing 50,000 reaction creators putting your content on YouTube within minutes of the broadcast. Even with commentary on top, some of these people don't care because it's their money. You're effing with their money. So the theory that's going around is that TKO probably got a phone call, maybe a few at this point. Streaming enforcement got hired to deal with this issue. So when it comes to this, two things can be happening at the same time. The pressure may generally be coming from all these big companies like Netflix and NBC Universal, and TKO chose to outsource the takedowns to a group to help them deal with the appeal process, and with no creator guidance. They just use bots, and that's it. Both of those choices belong to TKO. Now, I'm taking this pressure. The pressure is just an explanation, but it's not an excuse to this situation, because I want to ask you something. Why should you care if you're a fan and not a creator? Because the wrestling content ecosystem is the modern fandom at this point. Most of the people are listening to all these content creators and listening to what they're saying about wrestling. Not everyone gets to watch all these shows all the time. The reaction channels is what sometimes introduce new people to wrestling. The breakdown videos that explain the storyline you missed, the cosplay creators going to live events, the watch-alongs that made a Tuesday NXT enjoyable, feel like a hangout with other people. Those are things that are getting more fans for them, but to some, they see that as not piracy. That's the fan economy WWE built with its modern audience that they even use. But when it comes to this, they don't care. These are the same people that did the hashtag Kofi Mania happen because fans pushed it. They did the hashtag Give Divas a Chance happen because fans pushed it. The CM Punk return, the one WWE used reaction footage to hype his return, happened in a fan-driven cultural moment. You take away the creators, you take away the megaphone that is their social media channel that's been carrying some of this product throughout the past couple of years. Maybe, I mean, when was the Hostage Raw for WrestleMania 30? It's been almost 10 years now. So maybe 15 years, give or take, 10, 15 years. They were the one that helped spread news like fire and get people interested in the content. Now they want to shut them down. They want WWE wants a lighter fluid. They just don't want fans holding the match anymore. That's the whole story when it comes to this whole situation. And when it comes to me on this, I honestly don't do reaction videos, so it's indifferent for me. I feel bad for all of them, but you gotta figure out a new way to do these type of content. We're just gonna we are always gonna cover it, but we're gonna have to I'm figuring out ways every time I stream how to do the best I can to not get copyrighted. Because now, more than ever, I get copyrighted, and now that I'm a monetized channel, those funds get held. Like, if I do any copyright right now, all the funds you guys donated are on hold until I figure out this copyright. It happens. So that's why I also am trying my best not to use copyright to the best of my ability. And that's going to be the standard going forward, no matter what. It's going to be a thing of the past. If people want to keep doing it, that's on them. Now, that's one thing. The second thing, you're going to have to lean further into the kind of content the bots, like I said, can't touch. Long form analysis, maybe original commentary, fan theories. Some people go through Reddit. I still need to learn how to go through Reddit. Some people do videos just on that. Some different type of tales, cosplay coverage, con coverage, IRLs of that. Stuff that doesn't depend on you splicing SmackDown or Raw footage and reacting for it to work. You're just going to have to do something new. Third thing for everyone watching, if you've been hit, document everything that's happened, why you got hit. do screenshots just in case, save the strike notice, trace who striked you, look them up. Don't, unless you see something unfair, I wouldn't go through Instagram and act like some did and post about it. You should figure out on your own what you have to do first. And then when push comes to a shove, maybe then go from there, and maybe the community can help you. There's no creator hotline in TKO, so they won't help you. So hopefully the social media platforms can. I know Meta is hard to reach, but YouTube, I've heard that is easy to reach out sometimes. So if you're cautious with your Instagram account, because once you get hit, it's really hard talking to someone that is not a robot to help you get your channel back or your Instagram back. So be careful with that. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope this was great. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think it is the end of reactionary content when it comes to live shows? If so, let me know in the comments, and I will see you on the next video.